back at it again. It is the Weekend Rhyme, the #1 hip hop podcast in the game. A lot of y'all been asking where we've been at, what we've been doing, what we've been in the lab, working. We're working out, taking our supplements, getting right, trying to cook up some good things for y'all, thematically, schematically, cinematically, and just bring this conversation to another level. So that's where we've been. Everything is cool amongst the fam. No issues, no beef. We all locked in.
No.
We just trying to take this to another level. What's going on, fellas? I got Leroy in the building. I
What's
got
goody? What's goody?
Super in the building, and I
That's
got
really
Mike
good.
D making an appearance on the Weekend Rhyme. A rare appearance on the Weekend Rhyme. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? I mean, look, man, we had one of the biggest albums, the biggest hip hop album of the year, dropped this year, and
Right.
the Weekend Rhyme had to make an appearance and talk about this. We had to. I want to talk about a whole lot. Where do we start with this? Because
We're gonna start with oh my god.
with the rollout. I think the rollout was special, and I don't understand why more artists aren't able to do a rollout like this. These guys are everywhere. Now, I don't know if these platforms aren't opening their doors for artists that are coming out, but everybody opened their doors for this Clipse, and everybody knew about the project, and the project delivered.
Right. My thing is, who's stopping anyone from going to sit down and talk to these platforms? If someone closes a door,
Well,
Hey, hold on, y'all. I think we still might be having some problems. I can't hear you, Ron.
It's streaming.
You on mute?
It's streaming, bro. It's streaming.
We good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
okay, so look.
I mean, Leroy, have you ever walked into Sway and
One second. You hold on. Because you cutting off where I'm at. Shit. Sorry.
It's still, hey Ron, it's still not the right one. This a new one. It's still not the right one. We in the wrong stream still.
oh no.
Yeah, we in the wrong one. This a new one. Everybody's still waiting in the other one. They having a whole argument already in the other chat.
How do I get into two different? It says it's live.
Yeah, but this is it's not in the right one. If you go to look, we're not in the right stream.
That sucks. And, I'm getting stuck, man. I thought maybe it was my
the one
computer.
that I see on YouTube.
We got 19 viewers on YouTube right now, so I think people might be jumping over.
No, or they're gonna have to move over because we're not in the right one yet.
Let me see if I can send a message out and say, hey guys, if you're listening, we apologize profuse. This is what happens when you take a month or two off. You get a little rusty in the game, but we'll edit this and make it better. But if you're in the other chat, tell everybody if you're here right now listening to this, let people know that's in the other one. Hey, jump over to this one. I don't know what YouTube is doing. It's duplicating the streams. And it's nothing we're doing on our end. I think it's a technical software glitch, but it's duplicating the streams. It's making two separate ones. So, but if you're here, if you're in here, tell people to come over to this one, the one that we're live. All right. And I'm gonna go ahead and delete the other one. That way, it's no confusion. Hold on.
Yeah, just do that.
Can
we talk about the album though?
Let's talk about the album, Mike. So what's your thoughts on the album, Mike? What's your thoughts on the album?
Well, I'll first listen, man. I mean, listen. I guess the place to start is this whole narrative about Clipse being an all-time great duo, and that being predicated on what this album delivered on. This is what I will say. Clipse need each other. Pusha's dope as a solo artist, but the level of balance that Malice offers to a complete, Pusha style song or Pusha train of thought it lets you know that there was something missing during this whole solo run. So I do agree with Super. I think Malice was the MVP in the sense where these songs are complete thoughts because Malice balances out the menacing narratives that Pusha T delivers so well. Now, I will say this before we start delving into the album. I mean, on first, second, third, fourth listen, I felt that the album started off extremely strong. I know when I was listening to the album from Jump, I'm like, okay, well, this sounds like it could be on the heels of Hell Have No Fury. Now, I do feel like it tapered off towards the middle and the end. It had some high points in the end, but it kind of, was kind of a little wobbly towards the middle part. But it starts off incredible. And I think that Pharrell did a pretty good job producing, but I do think that Kanye's tutelage with Pusha T throughout his solo career kind of had an influence on the direction of where Clipse was going sonically. Little Neptune, Pharrell type of phrasing towards middle parts and the end parts, but it starts off very Ye influenced, and I think that was a great thing. I mean, long story short, I'd put this album right behind Health Have No Fury. I think it's better than Lord Willing, and I think it's better than Till the Casket Drops.
I think it's better than Hell Hath No Fury too. You know what I'm saying?
And Tyler, the creator, has the best verse on that, best feature verse on that.
Right. I agree with you on that too, Mike. I think he definitely, out of everybody on that album, Tyler is somebody that really surprised me the most. I have to start looking at him maybe with different eyes now because that verse that he spit on there was dope. And that song concept, I love POV. It's one of my favorite tracks on the album too. That concept and where they coming from on there. I know we'll get a little bit deeper into it as we go, but that concept is pretty dope and slick too. And I do appreciate them putting Tyler the Creator on there for the feature because it doesn't fit, but when you understand why they made that song and what they really talking about, it does fit.
Leroy, I want to go to you real quick, but
POV. Oh, go ahead. I was just gonna ask Super, what do you think about the beat changes on POV?
I like the beat changes on there. I mean, it does something for Malice, for his verse and what he's really saying on there, and it highlights what he really saying. I mean, POV, we might as well just get into it since we're gonna talk about it. I mean, it's that that their point of view of the game, and how they pretty much seeing like the fake and false and phoniness in the game as guys that's really from Pusha's point, he's the rapper, he's the dope dealer rapper. That's the businessman. So when he said he made $6 million off of what's that, Tyvek? I mean, a lot of people don't even know what Tyvek is, but he could be talking about stocks, or he could be talking about the same material that they use to wrap up the drugs with. You know what I'm saying? But
Leroy, before you cook up, I wanted to ask Super something because he made a point, and I kind of want to work my way down a little bit. So on the John Legend joint, The Birds Don't Sing. Normally, when I think I heard this joint like a few months ago, they played it on the runway at a Louis Vuitton show. And when I heard it through that clip, I really didn't like it. And I'm not really a big fan of John Legend's music anyway. So when the album starts off this way, I'm a little bit worried. But I actually come to like this song. And Super, you said something in the chat that Malice's verse was very profound. I think this is a little bit deeper. That they're talking about their parents on this record. And you said something about Malice's verse. I want you to touch on that, and then we're going to go to Leroy real quick.
I mean, if you really think about it, man, it might be the best dad tribute and one of the really only ones that I can think of where, it's a real dad tribute to a father. You know what I mean? That verse is real deep from him. When you talk about, sharing his dad with his friends in his neighborhood and, taking them out on fishing trips and stuff like that. Like that verse really goes deep, man. That verse is almost on a Dear Mama level, but just for a father. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a big fan of John Legend either, so I feel you when you had like, you know what I mean? Like when you was thinking John Legend, how much am I going to like the song?
I was surprised how much I liked it.
Yeah, I was real surprised about it too. And that verse, like I said, Val's verse, like I said, dads don't really never get tributes in hip hop. It's always how they, how fathers then left their sons or whatever. But Malice really touched on how his father pretty much raised them boys up right, and they still chose the streets. And it's just, it's a grown man ass verse. It's a grown man song, and any father or parent can definitely feel that disappointment when your son or your kids choose to go the other way when you've been raising them right. You know what I mean? So when he talk about imagine the pain that his dad had finding dope in the kitchen, finding mace in the cupboards or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just like, because he said his dad did everything right. His dad didn't have a problem working a double. It's just real deep, man. So I really respect that verse, and I think it's one of the greatest tributes to a father ever in hip hop, to be honest with you.
Cook up, Leroy, because Leroy, you were tasked to do a lyrical breakdown and analysis of this in the chat. We looking at you to kind of break us down lyrically here. What you thinking, brother? What you thinking on this record?
Well, of course, it's the Clipse. You know what I mean? They're super, lyrical MCs, and they're great for the detail, and they're great for authenticity. And when you talk about, a father and a son relationship, if your son is an adult and he's out getting money, and he comes back to you like, hey, what you gonna tell me? I'm popping, I'm lit. To respond to that type of energy, we have to know how to respond to that, because it's not about what you say. It is about what you say, but it's about the implications of what I'm saying. Now that's another level. And see, with the Clipse, how can I explain to you the world of hustling? I can give you the words and you could read the words, right? But you don't get what I'm implying behind the words. And that's something else. So, the album starts off, like you said, with a tribute to their parents. And that I feel it gives it a base. It gives it a foundation of realness and seriousness, right? You're talking about your mom and pop. So, of course, Pusha with the trying to navigate life without my compass. That's a bar, man. And it's really a deep bar, because what we have to do is know how to see in the dark. Now, when you talk about your mom or your dad, right? They know how to see in the dark and you don't. So that's a cheat code. Now, if you understand kind of what I'm saying, I can't articulate it exactly, but your mom knows how to see in the dark. Like, she don't need directions and she still knows where you should go. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the compass bar. Malice, asking if I should rap again. You gave me your blessings. The way you spelled it out, it's an L in every lesson. You owe it to the world. Let your mess be your message. And he said his dad offered him structure. So just lyrically, I just want to talk about structure, because he said message. And I know we've heard that before. That's not like something, it's not new to y'all, I'm sure. But if we look at words, right? The words are, we're spelling sentences, but then half of words also connect to other words. And it's not just mess and message. It's a code within our whole alphabet and all our language that connects. Now that's the subconscious behind the lyrics, and it exists. So I'm gonna get into it, and it was just a great way to start the album, because it gives foundation. Like, hey, bro, this is my mom, this is my dad. I may have went the wrong route. Of course, no Malice and Pusha. There's a duality, right? Pusha is he's gonna get this money like chains and whips. Unc keep says all you talk about is get rich, choke my chain and ice my fin. You know what I'm saying? Beat the system with chains and whips. He's just all energy into getting that money. He don't see no other way. Malice is kind of more of the perspective. He sees traps that could be there. So, it was dope. We get into the Kendrick verse on chains and whips, the gin. So he says all the gin words: generous, gentle, agenda, gentrified, Genevieve's, gender, general, gin and juice, genesis, ginger root, generate, Gen Z, ginseng, genetics, genius, all of that ginning going on to make that make sense. I mean, hey, you gotta write something. You gotta write something. hold on.
You know,
You gotta write something. Hold on. You gotta write something better than that before you criticize it, though. Like you could criticize it if you can't write nothing better, but until rappers can you gotta out rap Kendrick Lamar. You can't just criticize. You gotta get behind a mic.
Well, Tyler, I think Tyler out-rapped him on this album. Nas out-rapped him on this album. Malice out-rapped him on this album. Pusha out-rapped him on this album. Maybe Ab Live out-rapped him on this album.
How?
I mean, look,
he got Stove God. He got Stove God. But other than that, I think a lot of people out-rapped him on this album.
He just had a hook. Hey, look. I love Kendrick, but when you said that, I thought my first thought was, you get it. I got it. You get it. You like to put gin in your juice. I guess you think G Bishop for juice. The gin and juice thing, it's like, I don't know if he was responding to what Drake said on Family Matters with the gin thing, but the first thing I thought was we get it. You like to put gin in your juice line.
I mean, hey, since we going there, I'm gonna just go ahead and set it off.
Hold on, I just said message before with Malice. I said message.
I'm gonna go ahead and set it off, man. The Kendrick track is one of the weakest tracks on the album, to be honest with you. Like that, the beat is Jim Jones already rapped over the beat. Whips and Chains for me was kind of slightly disappointing. It's one of the weaker tracks on the album for me, to be honest with you. I didn't even like how the Clipse was really. I didn't like the Clipse flow on that track. So for me, that was one of the downside for me on that album. I'm not a fan of Whips and Chains. I'll be honest. The beat was old. Jimmy already rapped over it. I mean, like, I don't know. It just
Jimmy.
The beat sounds like No Church in the Wild. I'll say that, but I like it.
I mean, as far as the Kanye thing, if I'm Pusha, what is Kanye gonna tell me about cooking coke, like, or making music like that? Like, you're gonna tell me? Wait. How? And if I'm Pharrell, what are you gonna? Hold on. If I'm Pharrell, what are you gonna tell me about making street music? Like, I hear you, but I'm already Pharrell. I've been making music for 30 years.
Man, let me get him.
I don't know.
I mean, I can't explain this enough to you, Leroy. I don't want to deviate from the topic because we're going through the album break by bit, but I will say this.
They were writing his stuff.
On the Complex interview with Pharrell and the Clipse, they sat down and said, Pharrell said this to Malice and Push. This is the first time we ever recorded music outside of VA. Going to Paris is new to me. It's new to us. And we created this album in a new element. Based upon that, if you look at different interviews of what Pusha has said, the person that gave them that blueprint, whether you hate them, love them, like them, dislike them, was Kanye West. You can hear it in some of the music. You can hear it in the approach.
You know how long Paris has music?
But you're not listening to what I'm saying. It's not a knock on Pharrell. It's not a knock on Clipse. What I'm saying is 2010, Kanye was doing all this avant-garde, this fashionista,
they were doing that in the 80s.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. But anyway, continue.
No, I mean, they were doing that in the 60s, the 70s. So were they copying Kanye too?
No, what I'm saying is on the Complex interview.
Oh my God.
Pharrell said this is the first time. No. Pharrell said this is the first time that they went to Paris to record music. And if you look at Push's interviews, he's saying the first time he went to Paris and looked at fashion houses because Kanye West brought him there. And you can hear it in the music. He said it. It's in print. I think I sent you the article.
Right. Pharrell's dope because of Kanye.
That's not what I said. Okay. But anyway, okay.
I mean, that's where it's alluding to. That's where it's alluding to.
No. I want to rephrase what you just tried to rephrase. Okay. Pharrell's taking on this tone because of Kanye. Okay. Kanye set the tone for what we hear from Pusha T and what we hear from Clipse at this juncture. If anybody, I mean, even the hardcore stuff that Clipse had when they were produced by the Neptunes, they had brighter tones to them. Even songs like Pussy, even though it was hard, it had brighter tones. This whole dark tone, that's Kanye West. It is what it is. Like The
But
whole
you
solo
heard Hell Hath No Fury. You've listened to Hell Hath No
Fury
Fury,
isn't
and you've listened
like
to Lord Willing. This is the
Hell
same
Hath No
guy.
Fury is not dark like that, nor is Lord
Is
Willing.
this dark? Really? Is this album
Yes,
dark? Really?
the part is
At
It's
least the front,
halfway dark.
the front half of it is.
But he's making the drums very prominent, right? And making quirky sounds very prominent. Is that Kanye West to do that? Is it
quirky
really?
sounds. What if on POV, not POV, on Whips and Chains
Yeah.
and Whips, whichever it is. I thought I was gonna hear like a like one of them Kanye sounds for a minute.
I mean,
was
I get
missing.
it, and like on the first song, like the birds don't sing, the kind of building with the strings. Okay, I get you there, but when it comes to like a So Be It, when it comes to a POV, when it comes to
Man, so
a
be
Mike
it.
Tyson blow to
Yeah.
the face, with them hard
Now,
drums, doom 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 doom
yeah,
doom. That is
I'll give you
Pharrell. That
Mike
is
Tyson blow
Pharrell.
to the
That
face. Mike
that
Tyson
is
blow to the face.
Pharrell.
That's Pharrell. That's Pharrell. And Glorious, that's Pharrell.
That's
But
Pharrell.
stuff like So Be It, that sounds
So
like
be it.
Diamonds, my nigga. It
Hell
does.
nah. Hell, Diamonds.
Hey,
He took the
Please.
violins. Diamonds. He made the violins the prominent part. On So Be It, the violins, but the sample already comes that way even before you even chop it. That's one thing. But he made the ding ding ding, the little piano thing, the prominent part in the verses. I don't think Kanye's doing that. I just don't.
In,
Like,
Hey,
in the
I
words of
think I
Michael
think you gotta.
Jackson, in the words of
but
I
Michael
even
just
so, like
Jackson, you don't want to give
Kanye's
me
not on
credit
the
for
album
nothing.
though. He's not on the album. So
I
He's
even
just
all
think
giving
on
him
it,
this
props,
album.
he's not
I
on the
think
album though. So we're giving him
I
props
think
for no
anybody
reason.
being honest, and if you listening to the album, I mean, it definitely reminds you of Kanye West's sound. I'm not. I don't think I was the first one to
One
say
song,
that.
yeah.
And when I mentioned that, I want to say Mike agreed and Ron agreed. I mean, it has. That's not one song. Ace Trumpet sounds like it could have been easily on Watch the Throne too.
But
I mean,
what beat?
it's a couple. It has a sound that's similar to Kanye is all I'm really saying. And I agree with you, Mike. I agree. I think if I heard it and you heard it and Ron heard it, I think it's undeniable. And I think it's a lot of people have heard it too.
You've been
What's up?
listening
This is
to
the
Pharrell
reality.
for
This is the
25
reality right
years.
here.
So you don't hear Pharrell? You've been listening to Pharrell for 25
Leroy,
years.
Leroy,
You
this
don't
is
hear
the
Pharrell
reality.
when he's being Pharrell?
Leroy, this is the reality. Pusha T has worked with Kanye West for the past 10 plus years. You don't
Yeah.
think that in that working relationship, some of his sound habits or just overall way he records has actually brushed off on Pusha T to when he brought it back to his collaboration with his brother and Pharrell? I mean,
But
it is what it
how am
is.
I
He's been
so what
around Ye for so long.
I'm gonna tell Pharrell to copy Kanye or do like what am
That's
I gonna
not what we're
what am
saying.
I gonna
But
say? If
he
I'm Pusha,
probably
I'm already
you don't
dope
think
without
Pharrell
Kanye.
likes some of the things that Kanye brought out in Pusha, and he wants to
What
duplicate
can you
that?
bring out of a cult? What can you bring out from a hustler? Like I was a hustler before
Listen to Daytona. What are you talking
I
about?
don't. I just don't.
Listen
I
to
Bro,
don't. You know,
listen
Daytona.
to Daytona. I was
this is
rapping
a
my
crazy.
real
This
life
we don't even
before
need
I
to be
even
arguing
mentioned it.
about this really at all. I mean, I just think.
Yeah,
I think
I don't know, man.
I think if you hear
I
it,
don't hear it
if
at
you
all.
hear it, then you hear it.
I don't
I
hear it
think a
at
lot of
all.
people hear it. If you hear it, you hear it. You
I
know what I
don't hear
mean?
it
I think
at all because I
we
think
got a we got a
Kanye
super chat, Ron.
takes a prominent sample that we all hear. Kanye just boosts the sample. That's not him. That's like 1,000 producers do that. He's just the one that's mega rich and famous.
Hey,
So
let
you
me
think he's the only one that does that?
Wow.
let
You
me
So
get what
you
I'm saying?
deduce
let me
Kanye to that? Wow.
let me
Oh
shout out
yeah,
let
yeah.
me shout out to
Of
the super
course.
chats real quick. Ill Magic with a couple super chats says, "Nah, Mike is right. Some of these beats are Ye influence. I honestly feel like Pharrell took a sound inspiration from Daytona and Almost Dry." Il
Okay.
Magic with another super chat says, "I like Chains and Whips. However, what surprised me the most was the next song, POV with Tyler. That song right there definitely outshines Chains and Whips, and I definitely agree with Ill Magic. Like I said, I think
Hey,
Tyler had the best feature on the whole album." Go ahead.
Like I said, look, can we be honest about Chains and Whips too? I mean, was it really worth all the hype? They talking about they left the Def
Label.
Jam and all that. I mean, like I don't see what
That's not their fault. That ain't
That
their
I
fault.
don't believe. I don't believe
made the
I
that.
kind of
song.
just because the verse is like that, and I don't think the song is all that great. I kind of think they lying too. That sounds like Cap.
Who was the first?
It sounds